Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
What's going on, guys? It's Wednesday. It's Wash Wednesday. We're all here. Oh, wait, no, it's Monday.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
sorry.
And to my left, I have Anthony Fisher.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Who also appears to be celebrating Wash Wednesday.
Oh, always, every day.
And below me, I have Morgan, who is also apparently promoting Wash Wednesday. Do you guys know what day it is?
It's Wednesday.
Every day is Wash Wednesday if you're brave.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today I
you know,
learned.
with us all being home, you kind of lose track of the days.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, I don't see the difference in whether or not today is a Sunday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So, I don't know. Things have been staying pretty much the same here.
Yeah. I think that's a
What
fair
about you guys?
assessment. Yeah. The days just kind of blend together. I couldn't tell you what was the weekend and what's a weekday other than I have an appointment to go to today to fix my back after it got screwed up. And now who knows how these things go. Like if you show up there and they're like, wait in your car. And then you go through the whole procedure of like, okay, one person in the building at a time other than the owner.
They're
So
probably just going to do you in the car.
Yeah, they'll just leave you alone and say, Dane, don't come in. What you got is they'll slide in like a massager and your feet on the and then don't forget the chiropractor will say ooh, nice car as he's sliding that massaging pad in your seat.
well, across the black paint, the Velcro's got to like just
Yeah.
rub along the paint. Yeah, no,
Just
I
stand
really
there with the
appreciate the
switches.
attention to detail. Anybody going cabin fever stir crazy yet?
Not too bad. I mean, you can see I've got this guy walking around, wandering around in the back with me, and he's also got Sherlock with him.
Hello.
Hello, Kat.
So these two, they're getting stir crazy. Friday, we actually walked down to. What are you doing, bud? Okay. On Friday, we walked down to the park down the street. Right. Had to
Okay.
get these kids out because they are stuck in the house, literally going nuts. Carly's like, they need to run.
Well, they
So-
probably don't understand like how this stuff
Right.
works, what's going on.
Yeah. Anthony and I went into the warehouse and worked and cleaned everything on Friday. We spent about 4 hours there. So came home. It was like coming home on a Friday. Carly said, take the kids for a walk, go fly some kites, whatever. So I got some kites. We go for a walk. We take the wagon. We head down to the park. And while we're standing in the field, my two beautiful children flying kites, Watson the corgi running after them, chasing them, just having a grand time. Beautiful weather.
Picturesque.
No, just gorgeous. I hear, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. What's
Oh
wrong
no.
with you? And I'm like, is that I wonder who's yelling at that? That's weird.
Is that a
Let the
breeze
kids
that
keep-
sounds faintly like a
Yeah.
voice?
I let the kids keep playing. We're just hanging out. All of a sudden, the voice gets louder. I'm like, God, where's that coming from? And I can't see. Sun's in my eyes when I look that way. So we just keep playing. I let the kids, do their thing. Now, mind you, we were taking precautions. We were social distanced from each other, even though they are my children and they're in my household. We were also not playing on any of the playground equipment. That all had caution tape wrapped around it and stuff. But we were just in a big open field with our own, kites that we played with. Now,
Okay.
the kids are continuing to go. Augie starts mimicking the lady. He starts saying the exact same thing she's saying. And I'm like,
Oh no.
all right, bud, that's enough. Hadley has the best response. And for those of you that saw it, I posted it on the Rag Company Levi Instagram page on the stories. Hadley literally yells back at her when she finally gets up close to yell at us. No, we're not, in response to you breaking the law. Hadley goes, no, we're not. We're flying kites. And then runs off. I ended up telling the woman, feel free, call the police if you feel like we're breaking the law. Have them come on down. We're going to be here. These kids need to run. They need to play with their kites, get their wiggles out. And She continued to scream at me, and I just turned my back and ignored her and let the kids do their thing. Put in my earbuds. My kids weren't paying attention. They were too busy running. So
to the rational
all,
human being, you were putting them in less danger than simply going to
Exactly.
the grocery store.
Right, exactly. We were in a massively large
There's
field.
nobody nearby you other than the people you spend the time with at home anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's basically your family unit, and there's no other exposure happening. I mean,
there wasn't anybody else there. There wasn't anybody
Yeah.
else there. So to be the only 3 people in a field, and then she was out on her patio at her apartment smoking, had her drink. You know, it sounded like she'd been day drunk and was just a little mad at everybody. So
I suspect she was just bored out of her mind.
I think so. So anyway, that was our Friday evening. But you know, the rest of the weekend I spent just working on the Suburban. I got a new bumper. Put the new bumper on after I wrapped the lower chrome section in black. Got the lower valance on, put back on. Spent probably 3 hours trying to wrap the top portion of the bumper while it was off the vehicle. Got super frustrated through it. Put the bumper on the truck. Spent another 2 hours trying to wrap it while it was on the truck without the grill and the turn signals. I mean, I made it the easiest situation, and I ended up melting vinyl. And made a big hole. So I used what was left, and now I'm back to it's stripped, and I got to order some. So I'll be getting a hold of fellers later today and order me a few yards to get that done. So, but that's been all in all. We hung out. I actually detailed a couple cars this weekend.
Oh,
so
what'd you detail?
So one was the Les Schwab service truck. My buddy Wayne really just wanted to make sure that was as clean as possible. And I told him, I said, dude, I can't guarantee anything. You know, I wore my respirator, I wore my gloves the best of my ability, cleaned everything, you know, as good as I can with a lot of, I used a lot of heavy soap with Express Interior Cleaner just to try and do a lot of scrubbing because that was the best I could do. I used peroxide, the PNS finisher peroxide on the carpets and upholstery, soaked all those and let them sit in it. So tried to do my best, and then, you know, brought it back to Les Schwab. And then my buddy, who's a Marine, brought his truck over to do an interior on it and a wash. It wasn't as bad, but got that all cleaned up for him as well. Same reasons. He's just like, look, as an essential worker, I want to keep my truck clean and you know, want to try and stay as best as I can. So gave him the tips that I could and did my best on him. But it was definitely felt weird to be detailing and going like, should I be doing this right now? But,
well, and that is kind of a hot button topic right now, isn't it? I mean, everybody's concerned, should you, shouldn't you detail? Do you know about the vehicles coming into your shop? What precautions do you take? Or, you know, are you just going to brave it and then find out later, oh, I really shouldn't have done that? I mean, there's all these scenarios happening in real time that people are figuring out. I'm just imagining, though, that lady yelling at you in that field. She's imagining this is a scenario like that. You're that terrible M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening, where it's just you have to be scared of the wind.
Yeah.
It's that kind of scenario. Where some people are just like, oh, it's windy, you run away, you know, that whole thing. So be afraid, be very afraid. But obviously there is real concern here. It's just it's not as simple as it being the wind. I mean, there's proximity to certain surfaces, certain people, situations you just don't want to find yourself in. But flying a kite in a field where you have no other things around you, that's not really one of them.
Yeah. Well, another thing was looking at it from the sense of like, you know, the money helps, you know, detailing the cars. This weekend, that money helps. It goes to some extra bills that, you know, it's just, especially in this time, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of folks. I mean, I got a call this morning right before our morning meeting. City of Boise called me just to let me know. And it was an actual employee. Like I answered, I was like, hello? It's like, hey, so-and-so from city of Boise was just wondering how you're doing during this outbreak. And I was like, I'm good. What's going on? Like, I was very confused by it. But it was the utility company, Boise City Utility. And they were basically letting everyone know. They're like, hey, we just wanted to, we're calling all the customers because one, they're all working from home. Two, if you have a bill due or a bill due, they're basically giving you a grace period without any fees or fines or anything to pay it, and they're checking. They wanted to see, are you a person who has been laid off? Are you a person? They're being proactive about it and reaching out to all the customers. And I said, no, I'm still working, and I'm going to pay my bill. And they're like, okay, we just want to make sure. So they're going through, and I thought that was kind of a neat gesture.
It's nice that they're doing that.
Yeah. So you guys don't. Morgan lives in Boise, but the two of you guys aren't. So Morgan, you might get a call from whoever's got the utility bill.
Might be just an East Boise thing, though.
You never know. I live in the fancy part of Boise.
Yeah, the nicer part.
They want to make sure, So, but yeah, no, they. But you never know. So I just thought that was surprising that they were just calling to check and make sure we were okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm all right. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We should call all of our customers and ask if they're okay.
Yeah.
That's a long list.
That would be a lot.
Not to brag, but that's a long list.
Know that they need to buy more towels.
Well,
Julie's
I don't think that's the right move. No. If you need them, yes, but
yeah,
we're not forcing anybody.
What did you guys do?
How about you, Anthony? What's going on? And by the way, before we start up again, I'm hearing little feedback. Somebody's speakers are on or something. I'm hearing a little bit of repeat reverb. Something.
I think Morgan probably is on the iPad. She's not wearing headphones.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what I'm hearing then. I'm just wondering if our listeners are going to be annoyed by that.
Do you want me to go find them? I think they're upstairs on my desk.
Go grab them.
If we can pause for a break here and let you go get them, I think probably for the best. Yeah.
Or you guys Anthony can talk about what he needs to talk about.
Okay. If you want to mute your mic in the meantime.
Yeah.
So Friday evening was pretty chill. I washed the Civic, did a little O&R wash after work was over. We had a nice little kind of break in the weather, and so basically, it kind of sucks that all this stuff is happening, but it sucks that the weather is so gloomy as it's also happening. You know what I mean? It's like it's adding to the overall.
You'll stay inside.
It's adding to the overall crappy vibes of the whole situation. But I guess it's a good thing because it is forcing people to stay inside. But no, I basically just did a little O&R wash on the Civic, got it all cleaned up. It was funny because I was kind of explaining this in the Q&A that I really want to find an end-all be-all to being able to if your towels are hydrophobic right now and they're locked in and they're not absorbing like they should, I'm trying to find a really easy method and affordable method to get people to where they can remove the old sealant or whatever is in their towels to kind of, revive them and get them back to being absorbent. Because as we know by now, a traditional wash or even a microfiber dedicated wash isn't going to be able to remove a lot of those old waxes and sealants, right, and get them to where they're back to new. And so I'm trying to experiment with things that are affordable to be able to do, but also not harm the towels. So on Friday, I started washing, and I was actually trying out a few different products as a drying aid. And I feel like we're so spoiled with WOWO's Quick Detailer and Bead Maker.
Seriously,
in terms of slickness, that I'm having a hard time trying out anything that doesn't give me that instant gratification in terms of slickness and gloss. And so, I was saying this before. When it comes to WOWO's Detailer, Quick Detailer, or Bead Maker, I haven't found anything that's as slick as that, right? Next to C2V3 by G-Technic, but that's an SiO2 product, and sometimes people are wanting to throw on an SiO2. So it's definitely interesting. But what I ended up doing was I started with half the car using a product I was testing out, and I was like, this isn't cutting it for me. So I used WOWO's waterless wash as a drying aid, diluted 1-to-1 with distilled water and to the waterless wash. It was about a 50-50 mix there in the bottle. and still gives you that slickness, still gives you that shine. The waterless wash does add a little bit of protection too. So, it was just kind of nice, but did a wash that night, stayed inside, watched Tiger King, got a little further into that crapshoot of really,
You haven't finished it yet?
Oh,
I haven't watched it.
My God.
Morgan, you guys have to, because
It looks really weird and trashy. Why are people?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that.
We need you to watch it for work purposes so that we can all talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all have a common standing. Yeah.
Well, so my show during this time has been Criminal Minds, because I wanted to start something that had a lot of seasons, because I hate starting something and then being like, I have to pick another show now. Like nothing's going to be as
right.
good. So I picked something that had a lot of seasons.
A network TV show, generally speaking, you're going to get
another good
a
one.
lot
Supernatural.
of seasons. That's a fun show. I know
it's 17 seasons.
Kind of hokey, but it's fun.
Oh, so good. But no, you do need to watch Tiger King. It's 7 episodes.
All right.
So
all right.
It's a documentary, but it's
everybody who watches it, with just a handful of exceptions I've seen, anybody who starts it has a hard time stopping. Like as soon as you're in, you're just like, oh no, and there goes 7 hours.
So Anthony, did you finish it? You were at 5 last night.
I did finish it. Yeah, I finished it, but up to that point Friday night, I think I got to episode 4 or 5, and just like right when you think it can't get any any worse, it does. And so it was just, amazing. It just such an amazing and hilarious show. But basically, Saturday morning I woke up and I installed that front lip that I painted on the Civic that I kind of explained. And it turned out so good. Like I said, for a rattle can job, it's my best work I've ever done. I haven't even finished it out yet, so I still have to probably hit it with some 3000, and I'm just going to kind of compound and polish it out to get the most amount of gloss out of it. But just totally killer. So
it looks factory in the pictures.
Well, it is factory, but
the color match and everything. It really looks the part. It really looks good.
And just seeing a result like that, though, like it makes me interested to learn like body shop stuff and to learn body work. Not that I would ever really, utilize it or have the ability to utilize it. I just think it's interesting. I like being able to know how to fill things and how to sand it and prep it, because it's kind of addicting, because I can, doing that on a very small scale, right? Very, very small scale. I could see the satisfaction that you would get out of painting something, right? And then being a painter and seeing, wow, I did that, painting. And then obviously we have the satisfaction of being a detailer and being able to finish that out and get that to look the best it possibly can. So like having both of those is like, it's like, I would say it's kind of like our friend over there in Caldwell, Charlie, right? Charlie being able to paint and being able to finish. That must be the most satisfying thing in the world. And so, I don't know, it just kind of got me interested in that, but I ended up installing that. I ran 2 errands. I went to O'Reilly's and I went to a gas station. And it was funny because when I went to O'Reilly's, you can tell that the guys behind the counter, right, literally stayed behind the counter. I said, hey, I'm looking for this bolt. Look, where can I find this? Oh, back corner to your left, second shelf from the right.
Do they have the sneeze guards up on the counter yet? Because a lot of places I've gone to have like impromptu sneeze guards suddenly put up, like just a piece of plexiglass, and they just kind of attach it to the counter.
The gas station,
a lot of places
had that, but this, it was just funny because they were just super hands off, which is a joke because typically they're really hands off. Now they literally just won't, they don't help you at all. So
like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do anything.
So I ended up installing that, and then I think for the rest of the day, I think it was playing Call of Duty and just kind of chilling. I went to my parents' house for a little bit.
You got a haircut there.
I did get a haircut. My mom cut my hair.
I can tell.
It's my parents my parents have it made though, because their backyard, they live right along a canal, right, or whatever you want to call it. And they have all this wildlife and all this stuff. And so they're like, oh yeah, we don't have to leave the house ever because this is just super nice. So went and visited them, hung out with them, came home, did nothing. Sunday, which is yesterday, I ended up doing a deep clean on the Civic. And what was funny is that when I told you when I got the car, it was, it was a $1,500 car. I think it was absolutely trashed on the interior, but it was a smoker's car, right? So somebody had smoked in it. So while I've deep cleaned pretty much every single thing in that car, one thing that I forgot to do was your A-pillars, right? So, those pieces of plastic that come up when a smoker is holding their cigarette, right? All of that nicotine and all that smoke and stuff
concentrated there
all along that area. And so I noticed that when I was cleaning everything out, I'm like, oh, wow, I've never really hit that area before. So I grabbed the little VLB brush and some Lowe's interior cleaner. And what came off of that was literally, hold on, let me see if I can grab this towel. Hold on.
Ew, no. Spare us.
Anthony, put your pants on.
Oh my.
So you can see here those dark marks there. Like this was the second towel that I used just to kind of clean that up. But it was absolutely disgusting. Like basically I started rubbing it and I started seeing all this black tar just start coming off of it. And I'm like, holy crap. So it was but that VLB brush, man, I'm telling you, that is a miracle worker in itself. Then on top of the interior cleaner. So basically all those plastics in there look brand freaking new. And I was pretty pumped on that. And so did that, hung around the house, knocked out more little tasks and things like that I could do. And then finished Tiger King last night. And I would say that, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, I'm satisfied, but also not satisfied. Like, I'm like, there's
it's
a lot
doc,
more.
So life goes on.
There's a lot more that needs to be unearthed from that whole freaking story. And I feel like some of it was just overshadowed by one particular subject. And I'm sitting here like, no, you guys are covering this up. I want to know more about that person or that person or that person. And so I don't know, but it was for anybody that wants to see something that's relevant. I mean, you have to think about it. I think they had probably edited that thing and probably had everything wrapped up by January, edited it through February, whatever they did, and then released it. But like the last thing that you see is as of December 2019, this had been happening, right? So I'm like, this is pretty freaking relevant, and these cases are still open. So anyway, that was pretty much my weekend. Pretty chill, pretty straightforward. Just did some detailing to keep myself happy.
Oh yeah, nice, very nice. Well, yeah,
Morgan,
it's been
what'd you do?
pretty busy. So Morgan, what do you got?
Yeah, so yesterday I did crush some episodes of Criminal Minds. That went really well for me.
Excellent.
Then my parents were begging to see me, even though I've avoided going over there because I'm like, hey, like, we got to take this seriously. Like, I'm not going to, come over and mess up the...
You're breaking the law. Stay home.
Breaking the law. Yeah. So anyways, they had needed to run by my mom's nonprofit because she has a donation bin. And even though my mom has said, hey, please don't put stuff in the donation bin because we don't want to have to go clear it out, people are just not listening. And so it's all the stuff's getting like rained on and ruined. So she and my dad still have to go like once a week to put all that stuff inside, which sucks, but it is what it is. So they were like, hey, like, can we just bring you a coffee or something? Like, we just want to come see you. And I was like, yeah, okay. But like, I'm just going to get in the back seat of the car and talk to you guys for a little bit. And then you guys can go on and do what you need. So they stopped by and it was good to see them for a little bit. And then that was pretty much it for Saturday. And then Sunday, I wanted to go take some pictures of my car because it was like, kind of overcasty, cloudy looking yesterday. And so I saw a picture on Instagram that I kind of wanted to like not recreate, but like kind of recreate. And it was like up in the mountains with a little bit of, like right where the clouds are just floating right through, like right behind.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, like I was telling Brandon, I was like, hey, let's go up to Bogus and let's get like some pictures just pulled off, over to one of the slow vehicle things where the clouds are coming down. And he was like, okay, that looks like it's like, right in this area, like let's both go. So he drove his car and I drove my car. And so it was raining yesterday and the road was wet. But anyways, so we're driving, and I'm sitting here while driving thinking, please don't be any snow because it was raining. And I was like, it's not freezing, but like if we go up anymore, like I see snow on the hills. Yeah. So I was thinking like, oh shoot. So we were going and we were literally almost to the top, like almost to the spot where he wanted to stop, where the clearing was. And obviously, like when we were going up the mountain, like we were getting up behind people who were going slower, just because they were just slow drivers, not because it was like dangerous or anything. And so those people would pull over and we would pass them and then keep going. And so we make one turn and instantly it's just snow. And I'm like, oh no. And so I was like, oh, it's fine. Like it's not that much snow. It's just like a little bit of snow, but it's a mountain road. And so I was like, oh, okay, like we'll just go a little bit further. And then I was like starting to slip and Brandon could see me because he was in front of me. And so I was starting to slip and I was like, we need to like pull over because like I'm going around these corners and I don't know if there's cars coming around. I was like, I need to stop. Like I'm freaking out right now. And we came to a turnoff and Brandon was like going, like signaling me to keep going. And I was like, why? Like, why can't I stop there? And then we went around another corner and I literally just like, I was literally just drifting and I was like, okay, like I'm done. Like I'm pulling into this one and that's it. And then Brandon was just laughing and I was like, this isn't funny. And so I was like, how am I going to get out of here? And so
it's nice of him to just, his car has all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And he was like, it's fine. Like, it's just like drifting. And I'm like, hey, just because you play a simulator drifting, it's not the same. So I was like, so I'm turning around and I couldn't get up the hill anymore. I was like, I literally have to like back out and maneuver off of here. And I can't see around these corners. I'm like, is there cars coming? Like, what's happening? Freaking out, my worst nightmare. And so anyways, I turned around fine. We went back down the mountain a little bit into like one of the clearings that I was like, oh, like I like this spot right here. So we just pulled over, took some pictures there. And then we had to leave my car there because he was like, oh, well, I still want to go up and take pictures of my car up there. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So
you already made it that far. Of course, that's what's going to happen.
So did you do like we did in Atlanta and put a little caution tape around your car and park it in the road, middle of the road?
No.
Yeah, just hang it off the mirror.
No, because there was like the pull off thing. So I was like, all right, it's fine. We'll just leave it there for like 10 minutes. And then we went up and it was like normal winter up there, like all the mountains, all the roads, everything. And I think the other thing was because they're closed, Bogus isn't plowing or putting sand down.
Yeah.
So that contributed too. But anyways, got a lot of dirt on my car during that time. So when we got home, I was like, yeah, like we need to wash cars now. So did that. And I haven't washed my car at the house in a long time because I've just been lazy and like go to coin washes and do like an O&R pre-spray and then just like spray it off. But I was like, like we have time. I'm bored. I'm just going to wash it. So Brandon washed his and then I washed mine. And it was nice to get the hose hooked up and just do like a normal driveway wash for the first time in a while.
Yeah, it was warm enough too. So
yeah.
So he ripped off his side skirts. What happened there?
I don't know. So once we finished taking pictures of his car, we were heading back down the mountain and I was like, hey, there's one more spot that I want to pull off and take pictures of. And he's like, okay, like I'll just follow you. So I'm going around a corner and then I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I pull over and he's not behind me. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I just looked like 10 seconds ago and he was there. And so I was like, maybe he pulled off to take pictures like at another spot. I wasn't going to like turn around. So I just stayed parked there. And then like 5 minutes went by and he still wasn't coming down. And I was like, what the heck is he doing? But I was like, I'm not going to turn around and go back because like another blind corner, like people are coming around this. I'm going to have to do like a 3-point turn to get completely turned around. And I was like, if anything, like I'm just going to walk up there because like I'm not going to get my car hit just to turn around. And so I just waited and waited. And then he eventually came down the hill and I was like, what were you doing? And he was like, oh, my side skirt fell off. And I looked and like his side skirt was off. It was inside of his car. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, all right, well, like, let's just go. Like, let's just head home. And so we started going down more. And then for some reason, I was like still confused because I was like, hey, like that was a place that I wanted to take pictures. And he was just like, let's go. And I was like, why? Like, why is it urgent that we leave now? And so I pulled over at the next slow vehicle turnout place. And I was like, what happened? Like, how did that come off? And he was like, oh, it just like popped off and I heard it hit the road and I saw it in my rear view mirror and I was like, oh my God. And so I was like, oh, and then I'm looking like at the other one and I'm like, this one's going to come off too. And I literally just like barely pull it and the whole thing just falls off.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So did he stick those on with like
3M
Scotch tape? Or
no, they had the clips in them.
What?
They had the clips. They had the clips in them. And I don't
Somehow,
know. I don't know why.
I suspect he was getting a little drifty. He hit some slightly hard snow / ice, and it got a good grip on him and started to pull out.
Probably what happened.
Yeah, I think the snow just started pulling.
Yeah, he was probably getting a little squirrely and just didn't want to say.
Yeah, so we pulled the other one off, and I was like, okay, just put this one in your car because, you know, we don't want to have this happen and someone runs over it. So, like, let's just take it off. So when we took it off, then the fender liner, you know, comes and connects right to where the side skirt goes. And so now that was pulled out, now the fender liner is falling. And I'm like, hey, you can't drive like that because, like, this is going to, like, curl up and make a ball and it's going to break something. And so we were, like, trying to pull it out. And then apparently one of his air lines runs through it. So we couldn't pull it out because the airline is going through it. And I was like, oh my
See, what
God.
I like about this concept is maybe if more people in his position did this, they might actually put something in the empty ski box on the top of their poser car. You know, like everybody's got those freaking ski boxes on top of their cool tuner car, and they're always empty. They don't actually put anything in them. That's just for show. So, hey, maybe put some skirts in there like skis.
I don't think they'd actually fit. I think the side skirts are too long to fit in those.
Well, it depends on the box you got. If you throw a rocket box on there, it's long enough.
Well,
like,
if you have a
fit on the
coffin on the top, then maybe.
Oh my God!
It all depends.
Yeah. Anyway, so we just
lifestyle.
we just tucked it in between like the actual fender and then where the side skirt was supposed to attach. We just like pressed it in all along there, and I was like, hey, you need to like air up all the way. Because otherwise, like if that gets caught on something, it's going to pull and then rip that. And then you're going to lose air and we're going to be stuck. So like air up.
Yeah.
And so he did. And then we got home and everything was fine. But I was just like, wow, like all I wanted was pictures. And then everyone's car is falling apart. And now my car is covered in dirt and it's fine.
No, that's the way it goes. Always, every time.
At least you got to wash them.
That is true.
You know, that's a nice thing. So
yeah.
All right, Dane. So we saw you wearing gloves, wandering around the city, driving your C-Max. For some reason, you mounted a snowplow to the front of the C-Max.
Wait, what?
And then you put cages on the windows. I thought that was a very strange modification.
Very Mad Max of you to do.
I might have blacked out before that happened.
That was odd.
That's what happened.
He was showing us pictures of the toilet paper he had purchased, but your gloves were very bloody, and so was the toilet paper. And I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't want to say anything, but
was there a victim of this, or what?
I know Morgan noticed and said, "Are you driving the C-Max?" And you were. So, hey, Og, guys out. Come on, Og, you brought the neighbor kid over.
Oh no.
Yeah,
that's fine. Just contaminate that house. That's okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay. They're not supposed to be playing together.
It's not much of a quarantine.
They're also not supposed to be playing together. So
no.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Dane. So Morgan made the comment that she noticed you were in the C-Max. The rest of us all noticed the blood on your gloves and the toilet paper. So tell us that story. So,
did you commit a murder? Just tell us now.
Freedom isn't free. Any rate, so basically The only interesting thing I got up to this weekend, because I've just been watching shows and doing some editing and just kind of hanging around the house this whole time. I haven't left for like any reason other than
literally
this
hasn't
one time I left the house. I mean, I've been wearing PJ pants, different variations of plaid for the last week. It's been great. But yeah, so
well,
in this case,
just so everyone's aware, Dane does wear those sometimes to work. So really,
flannel.
Really, what you're wearing is exactly what you would have worn to work. Anyway, you're just at home. You just haven't driven in yet.
Lovely. So the main
super snowy days.
I'll find an excuse one of these times. Who doesn't love some good flannel PJs?
Pajama days. It's like Red Ribbon Week around here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So basically, other than finishing like several different shows, because there's a lot of time to go around right now, I did go out to some stores. And of course, everybody's like, oh, don't subject yourself to that unless you have to. Well, in my case, I don't unfortunately have any masks, but I do have a lot of like nitrile gloves. So I'm like, okay, I can use those. And unfortunately, they're blue, so they look a little, goofy. But
surgical, yeah.
They look very. Oh, yes, doctor. Okay, but at any rate, put those on. I keep them in the car.
I can't do this anymore.
Dr. Dane.
I had to go to what ended up being 10 different stores. No lie. I had to go to so
Why did you go
many
to 10?
Stores. Well, in the C-Max,
list?
I don't use gas. No,
right,
literally,
right.
I just went out and I was like, you know what? Before we run out of toilet paper, I want to actually go out and try and see if I can find some. Unfortunately, looking online, the in-stock stuff doesn't really tell the whole story. So you kind of luck of the draw. Unfortunately. So yeah, I was like, I'll take the C-Max, doesn't use any gas, just driving electricity around. And maybe I'll find something. So yeah, I went to
the planet, Dane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stores and still had no luck until number 10. But I was all just looking for toilet paper. That was it. Like we had all the other groceries we needed, although I did discover ordering online. I ordered from Albertsons or Walmart online to have stuff delivered or do the curbside pickup. So it was kind of like a combination. And they do this thing where they go, oh, if we don't have something in stock, is it okay if we replace it with a similar item? And I checked no on all those things because I don't know what they're going to replace it with. Because
it's just like it's like a different brand. Like if you ordered like Adams peanut butter, they'll give you Jif.
Oh, see, no. When I was looking at it,
natural.
The way they phrased it made it look more like, oh, if you want these, granola bars with, apple flavoring, you'll get the, pear flavoring or something, like just not the same thing. So I was a little bit leery about that. So I just checked no. Well, as it turned out, I essentially got none of the things I ordered. Just none of them.
Yeah, because they were like, screw this guy for
I placed
making things difficult during a pandemic. You're gonna get everything wrong.
No, like on the website, I'm like, okay, specifically this, and of course, if they don't have it, then I don't want to spend money on things that I don't want. So I'm just getting the particular things.
All the things that you didn't want to eat. So did you throw those all in the trash?
No. What?
Oh,
no.
Okay. Well,
no, they just didn't show up. They didn't show up at all. Period. They didn't give me my order other than a bag of cereal. That's all I got. So I paid $10 for a.
Oh, so they didn't even fulfill it.
No, that's the problem. Is normally
they didn't have anything.
So the Walmart thing showed up with like dog food and some other essential stuff I did need. So that was okay. But the Albertsons one, I had like an $80 order of different things that I was trying to get, just normal essential stuff. And I thought, oh, this will be nice. Show up at 3:00. They made me like plan out 2 days ahead for when I'd be able to come pick it up. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm being proactive or something. Fine. So I fill it out. And then, they weren't able to fulfill anything, but they have a $30 minimum. I barely made it in with a $6 cereal bag when everything else had been effectively canceled. But it was obnoxious. And I'm just thinking like, okay, subject yourself to more crap, but at least if you go out into the store, you can find stuff that you're interested in. Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's just.
So quick question, Dane.
Yeah.
I just want to take a quick poll here. How many rolls of toilet paper does everybody have at this point?
I haven't counted, but I'm short. I need to go get some. We actually had a soldier die. We lost one yesterday.
no.
I walked into the bathroom and
The cat.
went to close
no.
the vanity. And when I closed the vanity, someone had precariously placed a roll of toilet paper on top of a box. My wife and children did that. I closed the cabinet. I didn't realize there was a roll of toilet paper behind it. The roll of toilet paper fell and landed in the toilet.
Oh no!
You're
So you
literally
can dry
flushing
that
money
out.
away.
I was like,
You can just dry that thing out. Just hang dry.
Just put it in the oven.
It's kind of a hard dry. So yeah,
That
I
will be
felt
warm.
I felt pretty sad. We pulled it out, put it in the trash. The hard part was Augie and Hadley seemed to forget to flush the toilet a lot. So this was an unflushed toilet. So I didn't really want to dry it out.
No.
I just took it and threw it in the garbage and then dumped the
That
garbage.
is
So
brutal. That is brutal.
Sick.
lost
That's
a roll
pretty
of toilet
gross.
paper for nothing. Didn't even get anything in return.
Oh, bueno.
You know, I was able to trade a toilet paper for the bumper on the Suburban, so that was nice. But like in this case, it was just literally flushing money down the drain.
Yeah.
So,
Dane, what about you? How many rolls you got?
Probably about 15 or 16.
Okay,
nice.
that's pretty good.
The main
Morgan?
thing was what happened was I had ordered from Costco. I went to Costco and bought stuff like the week before we all got shut down and everything. So I had one of those huge Costco things at my house,
which is
already.
good, mind you.
So
For
it's
two
like,
people,
okay.
that's 6 months worth of toilet paper.
And we're like, it's fine. That's not true.
Yeah.
It is, Dane. My wife and I spent a time period deducting and trying to deduce how much toilet paper this works. We would buy 2 of those packs when it was just me and her.
Oh, I've seen the memes.
And our dog.
I know.
So we did just fine. So I'm just
I've
saying,
seen the meme.
6 months worth is what you should be saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless
Morgan?
you're bill active.
I have
Morgan,
5 left.
5 rolls.
Yes, personally,
Are
just
they-
for me and Brandon.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anthony,
So
well, now I'm gonna feel like a monster here, but keep in mind,
You're
I
not
bought
hoarding,
a pack.
are you?
I bought a pack before all this crap went down, right? Before all the crazy stuff happened, and then, well, right when we found out the toilet paper was in despair, I went to Winco, and that's where I found a pack. And then I think it was a week and a half ago, Katie found another pack at Walmart, and then we already had some kind of residual left around the house. So at this point, we have 42 rolls.
oh,
so,
very nice.
Like, it sounds
Oh, my.
bad. I know. I'm not hoarding them, so that's
No,
why I wanted
but
to ask,
As
because
someone
I'm
who's
happy to give them to my brethren of the Rag Company podcast if needed.
as someone who travels a lot with you, I know that is not a lot of toilet paper for you.
It's
Oh
not.
my god.
I
there
eat
is
a lot.
no need to go into detail here.
Just
Is what it is.
I mean,
I
Oh,
also
this whole
blow
thing
my,
derailed.
I also blow my nose with toilet paper.
I
so
know,
I got
that's what I'm
that going
saying.
for me.
you use
Yeah,
a roll of
oh,
toilet paper for everything.
Really quick. Hold on.
Clean
And
your
then
ears with it.
Katie's dad, right, sent us, this is pretty crazy, right? Sent us 2 boxes of this. Hold on.
Is it free toilet paper?
Whatever the hell
Oh,
these things are.
Wipes.
Baby wipes?
Um, these are
Don't act like you don't
personal
love them, Anthony.
That's a big
personal-
pack.
cleaning cloths.
Anthony,
Okay.
that's really nice. That's
So
Anthony's
that's
literally trying to pretend he doesn't like them right now.
Okay.
That is disgusting.
I have
You love those,
18 of
Anthony. I
these
know you do.
packs. 18
Oh.
of these.
Yeah.
18 of these packs.
Well,
And
as
I didn't-
as your
I didn't
father-in-law,
order
he
them.
knows you very well. He
So,
knows,
like, I
what you do. One of your great
Oh
pastimes,
my.
besides
I
being in
opened
the
the
garage.
door and I was like, what is this? And I opened it up. I'm like, holy crap. So literally,
Oh,
I'm set.
wow.
very nice. Very
I'm
nice.
calling the cops.
Okay.
Very nice.
So
Yeah.
if anybody's
Anthony,
running
just-
short, just
Hit
raid
me up, man.
house.
Hit me
Okay.
up. Just,
So-
I'm gonna rob
just-
Anthony just for fun.
Wow.
Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh
Toilet
my.
paper and wipes.
So essentially, I thought I was just trying to be ahead of the curve. I'm like, okay, before I'm out and I really need it, why don't I go looking right now just to have something to supplement and not go nuts? I'm not going to, raid
Yeah.
a place that has only a few and be the jerk who takes it all.
Well, I
It's
mean,
just-
it was you were already walking in there. You had your nail bat, you had your gloves on. I mean, you were just going in. You were going to get some toilet paper if it was the last thing you did, especially after the 10th, going to the 10th store.
So basically what I did between all these stores was I wore those gloves, the nitrile gloves, but I was wiping down anytime I got back in the car, the door handles, any other touch points, steering wheel, knobs, controls, stuff like that. With
were you wiping
wipes
the gloves
that I had in the car? Yeah, and the gloves too.
Okay,
so
good.
I would have them there, and I basically run, a wipe through them and stuff. So yeah, and I have enough gloves. I could just get another pair, but I thought, I'm out and about. I'll just have the same pair, but I'll wipe them down. So
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That way I'm not, just wasting gloves. So yeah, going between the stores, it was kind of a pain because every time you get to one place, you're like, oh, maybe this is going to be it. Turn the corner and everything else seemed to be in stock except for that one thing. And you're just looking going, really? And of course I went to a number of these, several Walmarts and, Rite Aids, etc. And I thought for sure I was going to find something at my local Rite Aid where nobody goes. It's like a ghost town. Nobody ever goes there.
I love that Rite Aid. Honestly.
That Rite Aid is fantastic for finding things you normally just won't have luck elsewhere. And it's cheap. So it's like,
I think it's haunted, honestly.
It looks like it. But in this case, no such luck. So I finally got around to a Fred Meyer, which is a Kroger for people who live elsewhere in the States who may not be familiar with Fred Meyer. But I turned a corner and I saw this otherwise empty aisle, but there was this girl, an associate. She was putting some rolls of what looked like paper towels on the rack. She had like 7 of these packs. And
Dane starts running.
She was on a little cart.
Dane charges her.
And I'm looking going, are those? Nah. And I wasn't sure because there was no indication above the aisle that this is where you would find this stuff, toilet paper. It just wasn't the case.
Is that toilet paper as he pushes the bat in her face?
I didn't want to call more attention to it, so I just quietly went around the next aisle and came back up because she was down at the far side. I was like 300 feet away, so I'm like, whatever. I'll just get down there, get on the other side.
Did you drop slide when you?
No flanking. No.
Okay.
Take out her Achilles. Yeah.
Oh my God.
At this point, she had started to move to another aisle, so she had put what she was going to put on the shelf. No one else saw it. This is the amazing thing. Like people are walking by, no one's looking for it. No one saw this. I looked up close, and then my indication was, those aren't paper towels. Those are toilet paper because it said the blah blah blah
number toilet of rolls. Paper on it.
Well, no. The point. Okay. When you see the thing that says 24 rolls equals something other rolls,
you're like,
when you see that,
it's like
that's
40
the indication. Yeah, when it does that, 4 rolls equals this many rolls. It's that indication because paper towels don't generally say that on them, but toilet paper
does. They don't.
Because they'll do the mega roll or whatever the crap they decide to say on them. But that was the whole indication. As I was looking for that clue, and when I saw it, I immediately went, oh, and I started looking around immediately, like, okay, anybody else seeing this?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I go up.
And that's when you ran.
And I grabbed one.
Slid.
And it was like a pack of 9, so it's not like the most in the world, but it's enough for now. So I'm not going to be greedy. So I grab one, and I look over, and someone else saw me grab one, and they look back and they're like,
to be fair,
"Wait,
you were
is
running
that
through the store?"
No, I was being low key, but somebody was going by getting like coffee cream or something in the background, and they look over and they go, "Hey, is that?" And then they tap the person next to them. They go, "That's toilet paper." You suddenly see like a few other people, and other people notice these people getting kind of amped up about something. And next thing you know, there's like 12 people rushing this way, and I'm like, "Oh crap! There's only 7 of these packs. I'll just take the one, get out the way, because I don't want to be in the middle of a herd when it happens." But people were aggressive about it for sure. And I think a lot of this is just kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. There is no need for people to hoard this stuff the way they are. But a lot of the panic results from the memes of people making the jokes about it. And then other people go, I wasn't taking it seriously, but look at all these jokes. Maybe there is an ounce of truth to it. And then other people believe it, whether it's true or not. Oh, I better get some too, because I don't want to be the person who's left out. And next thing you know, people are hoarding it. And that's just the way this happens. So it's frustrating, but at the same time, I understand it. It's just, it's not rational, but I understand it.
What I want to know is, who the hell are these toilet companies basing these mega rolls on, right? When they say this many rolls, what rolls are they using as the standard to base their big rolls on?
I will just say, I've noticed, because of the randomness of our toilet paper situation in our house, there are many rolls that run out much faster than, the Costco roll.
Well, okay. So, here's a big tip for you, to everybody. If you're a Viva family, right? If you use Viva, right? And I'm talking about it's a very specific type of Viva. There's a couple different Viva styles of paper towels. There is the soft paper towels that have no texture to them. Those are the ones you want. They're extremely absorbent and they can be used for pretty much anything, right? So we're a Viva family here, right? I'm a big, me and Nate both are a Viva family. And so I really think that people need to, maybe venture off into other different paper towels to use in situations like that. And I know this is coming from the guy with 42 rolls and roughly 18 packs of wipes, but I'm just saying, end of the day, there's Viva and then there's microfiber towels.
So how would you compare Viva paper towels to Costco paper towels?
There's no comparison. Viva's the best.
Okay, that sounds a little bit biased.
No,
really,
I don't know how to explain this. The Viva towels are not like normal paper towels. Hold on.
Okay. He's going to be demonstrating this today.
It's going to be like the jersey t-shirt fabric of paper towels.
They both left. Are we going to be doing a paper towel discussion on this channel? Because I don't think that's right.
I feel like our audience is already bored to death, and this is just making it worse. Only the hardcore fans have stuck around this long to hear us talk about
only hate us
because
they ain't us.
My headphones, my AirPods died. So
you're yelling. You're yelling now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, sorry.
It's loud.
That's really loud.
Oh, here he goes. What's he gonna do?
Right. So this right here is a Viva paper towel roll, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like anything special, correct? You're like, this is just a paper towel, Anthony. Okay. Well, look at these sheets, right? Pulling this sheet off here, you can reuse these sheets like they are blue shop towels. I'm going to show you how absorbent this thing is, right? I have an IK sprayer here. I'm actually going to douse this freaking paper towel here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see this thing is pretty much soaked, right?
Yep.
It looks like one of those wipes now.
Right? This thing is literally dripping wet. Okay.
This became a very visual podcast.
Wait, watch this. This thing is soaked. It is not tearing apart, right? This thing. Crap. Just a little bit. Just a little tear. But that's amazing. You could literally just wash these out and reuse them if it came down to it. So
put it in your washing machine.
You could. I am
guys, with at the rate this is going, we're going to be in a dark place in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, we've already lost
All I know is that we're doing this now.
Absolutely lost it.
Week 2, we're already doing this on the first day of week 2. We're in trouble. We are in trouble.
But when else can we say that this has happened?
What?
Yeah. I'm saying, when else can we actually make topics of this crap that we wouldn't normally make topics of? It's hilarious. It is entertainment to me. I think it's fun.
Oh no, this is strictly for the OGs, like people who will actually put up with the stuff. Oh my god! Oh no!
This is okay.
No.
So that is the bidet, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
It runs into a water line right here. So tee off, goes down, mounts into the seat. And that's my last resort. So
wow,
nice.
Truly. And what do you mean, Tim? You're saying how do I avoid hitting it? No. So the bidet has a little spout that goes down into the bowl, and it stays back and out of the way.
Isn't a bidet normal in other countries?
yeah, totally normal for our friends and our listeners in Europe and things like that. Very normal way to use a restroom and use a bathroom. So
just generally people don't call quite as much attention to it. That's all.
We're just weird like that. Yeah. But the nice thing is, if we run out of toilet paper, I have that.
Yeah, that
is. Yeah, we still have some semblance of normalcy.
Problem solver right there.
But, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. When I just only have that. So,
oh boy,
that will not be good. But.
So I think a nice way to segue from the topic we've been enjoying for the last few minutes into something that may be of interest to our audience would be to get them to interact with us in the comments. I want to hear, like, we're thinking about bringing on some guests, doing some detox potentially through Zoom here. Just because, if you're going to be stuck at home, we can still do some of our stuff. Yeah, it'll be in a compromised capacity because it'll be all through, internet teleconferencing service. But point is, we can definitely connect with other people around the world, even if we're isolated, and do some like detox type stuff. Maybe bring on some guests on the podcast, on the live Q&A. So just want to hear some suggestions down below in the comments, maybe some topics of interest or some people of interest that they want us to get in touch with and maybe bring on.
Yeah, right on. Well, yeah, I think you're. I think we have a lot of ideas to be able to do. And then one thing I want to point out too is that this week I'm going to be going live on Instagram several different times. With weather permitting, I'm just doing kind of quick tidbits of stuff. So basically, just doing a quick interior wipe down. I might even do an outdoor wash and kind of do a wash that way, and then that way Dane and Levi could basically jump in on my live video and then answer questions and comments and stuff like that. And so just kind of making use of stuff that we would normally do at home, but doing it in the driveway and just kind of giving you guys a different different scene, different setting.
Well, what if you do it from the Rag Company account? We'll just join from our personal, so that way the most people potentially.
That's what I would be doing. Yeah. Okay. So I'd be going live as the Rag Company, but that way people can kind of join in. I'd explain the stuff the same way I normally explain it, but that way everybody can kind of jump in on comments. And so I've kind of been wanting to wash Katie's car as well once this rain stops, and that way I can maybe show you guys how I would do. Maybe just a wash with my pressure washing solution package, but do something like that. Maybe to show some basic wheel cleaning stuff with either Wowo's wheel cleaner or PNS, and kind of show you just how dirty a car can get just in a couple weeks. So,
and even with not driving around, it still gets dirty.
Oh, I don't know what, dude. I don't know what the heck it is with that 4Runner, man. It just picks up. I've never seen a car get that dirty. And
is it the color, the paint that kind of shows it more, or chances are,
tell you,
because of where you live, you have higher winds and stuff more frequently. So that's probably bringing stuff in.
It's garage parked. Honestly, it's just one of those things. I think personally, I believe that the protection that is currently on her car is sticky. It's clingy. Whatever the heck is,
Do you still have Sonex BSD
spray and seal?
On it?
It's spray and seal is what's on there. Yeah, and it just seems to collect a lot more. From what I've noticed is that it's held up fantastic. The two applications I've done has been great in terms of holding up, but it just collects stuff a lot faster. And I noticed a significantly reduced amount of dirt collection when I use the Wowo's Quick Detailer as a drying aid. It will be significantly less dirty than if I were to use I just have a handful of stuff. Every once in a while I'll run through some Adams Detail spray on it as a drying aid. Sometimes I'll go and I have some Sonex BSD I'll use as a drying aid. And then I think I have a whole thing of mixed up of the Optimum Quick Detailer or the Instant Detailer. Whenever I use those, it tends to cling to dirt like crazy, whatever the heck happens. But when I use the Quick Detailer, it seems fine. But even Bead Maker is kind of right in the middle to where it'll collect still pretty good. So, strange. It's just strange. It's just a strange anomaly, especially for something that I have I clean, regularly. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But anyways, that's something to look forward to. I think we're probably over the hour mark, right, Tim?
Oh yeah, I think we're there.
right.
So yeah, as far as that goes, I think that pretty much wraps up our podcast for the day today. We'll definitely be doing live Q&A again, as we did this last week remotely. I think that worked pretty well.
Yep.
Bring everybody in. Maybe have a guest potentially. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that'll be fun. So, all right, guys, anything left to add before we wrap this up?
That's it.
Nope.
Okay. So, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel in addition to the Rag Company YouTube channel. And, of course, it would have to be said that you got to click the bell if you want to get the notifications when we actually release new content, which does happen every week. So, make sure you've done that, and we'll catch you next time. All right, guys. Adios.
Bye.
See ya.